Hello, welcome to today's all levels yoga practice. Today we're going to be working with the solar plexus. The solar plexus is the third chakra and it's located between the belly button and the rib cage, right here, the solar plexus. The Sanskrit name for the third chakra is Manipura Chakra. And whenever you work with this chakra, it is the purpose of this chakra is to generate energy, strength, find will, and mastery in all that you do. So when you connect to this third chakra, Manipura Chakra, this is when you connect all of these energies. And this is a time of year when you might find yourself stuck, a little bit of inertia. And when you connect and balance the solar plexus chakra, you overcome the inertia. And I like to think of it as, so as the name implies, solar plexus, you're kind of harnessing the fire within you, creating this glow from the inside out to combine your light with the entire universe. So how are you going to stoke your inner fire and find your passion? Reconnect to your passion if you feel stuck. Well, that's what we're going to do today. And I'm so glad you're here. So, sitting on a blanket or a yoga block, make sure your hips are higher than your knees as you sit tall. We're ready to begin. So go ahead, close your eyes. If you don't want to close your eyes, bring your gaze downward. As always, take a moment here to connect with your body and your breath. Just see how you're feeling today. Feel yourself beginning to tune into your feminine energy. Your feminine energy is your yin energy. It grounds you. So connect to that. It's slower, it's cooler, and yet at the same time when we connect to it, we feel warmth and we radiate that outward. Within us all is the balance of masculine and feminine energy. Feminine is yin energy, masculine is yang energy. And the yang side of us helps us initiate new tasks, helps us with willpower and sticking with it, finding the ability to overcome inertia, succeed, and triumph over any problems or obstacles that arise. This is all in the Manipura Chakra, the third chakra. Yes, the solar plexus. So bring your attention now to the solar plexus, the space above the belly button, but below the base of the rib cage. Breathe into it. Kind of picture this yellow, warm, beautiful sun inside you, above the belly button, but below the base of the rib cage. We're going to initiate that light, make it glow a little more tensely today, and make it take up more space within the body. So first up, let's create more space for the solar plexus, Manipura Chakra, to reside within. Take a breath in, sweep the arms up. Hands coming together overhead. Feel the length on the sides of the body here. And as you exhale, hands floating down, palm pressing to palm. Do that again for 3 more breaths, moving with your own breath. Keep your focus with the Manipura Chakra, above the belly button, below the base of the rib cage. Even visualize the glowing sun that's within you. the end of your fourth breath, simply pause with hands in front of heart center, just until the exhalation is complete. Then bringing the hands apart, palms of the hands apart, but keeping the fingertips together, coming into Hakini Mudra. Now turn your hands upside down so your fingertips are pointing down, thumbs are pointing upwards. And just notice how your hands naturally rest here in front of the solar plexus, the Manipura Chakra. Kind of sense the warmth between the palms of your hands, even though your hands are apart. They feel connected by the energy there. The warmth of the sun from within. Begin to connect to a sense of well-being and vitality. And just recognize the fire within and what stokes your flame. Yeah, I said it. And release your hands. If your eyes are closed, you can go ahead and open them. Let's come into table pose on the hands and knees. So wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, toes curled under or uncurl your toes, whatever feels comfortable to you here. Get a good connection between the palms of your hands, your fingertips, and the earth. Look towards the top edge of your mat. Now, before we go any further here into a cat-cow warm-up, I want you to think about where in your body the solar plexus is. Above the belly button, below the rib cage. Keep your mind resting there. Now inhale, lift the eyes, look forward. Really pop open through the rib cage. Create some length between the belly button and the base of the rib cage. And as you exhale, pull in. Belly button pulls in. Reach the belly button all the way to the spine. As you round through the back, round through the shoulders, tuck your chin towards your chest. A breath in. Lift the eyes, look forward. Lengthen from belly button to the base of the rib cage. As you exhale, pull the belly button in all the way into the spine. 2 more repetitions, moving with your own breath, really keeping your mental focus with kind of jostling the flame within. Think of your breath as bellows that gently stoke the fire and egg it on. One more repetition. Come back to neutral table pose. Now come down onto your right elbow, right forearm. Reach your left hand towards the left corner. Anchor your hand in place, not too much of a reach. Now sit back towards your right heel. Let your left hand feel really heavy. So you're using the weight of your arm to really create a long stretch from the left hip all the way to the tip of your left baby finger. Remember, we're creating room within the body to enlarge the internal sun that is the solar plexus, creating lots of room for that chakra wheel to spin and create even more energy. It'll be so open. You'll have so much willpower, so much energy, so much warmth radiating out of you. It will be amazing. That's a lot to live up to. I don't know, maybe I just made a big promise. All right, let's come up. Come to table first. Then coming down onto the left forearm and elbow. Right hand reaching towards the right corner of the mat. Anchor your hand in place. Use the weight of your arm as you sink back towards your left heel to really feel the stretch and length along the whole right side of the body, from your hip to the tip of your baby finger on your right hand. Breathe into it. Breathe into the stretch. Feel your belly resting on your thigh. All kinds of things going on here. Return to table. Toes curl under now if they aren't already. Take a breath, and as you exhale, lift to downward dog. So lifting up, really sinking your heels towards the earth, long arms, hands firmly planted. Keep a tiny little bend in the back of your knees here, just to gradually let your legs stretch out. You might feel tight, and that's okay. Now lift the left heel, sink the right, and give your right hip a little pull away from your armpit. So you're feeling a long stretch again along the right side of the body. Now come back to center, equal weight on both feet here. Lift the right heel, left heel sinks. You can feel the intensity in the back of the left leg. Now stretch the left side of the body by pulling the left hip back just a tiny bit. Doesn't take much. Make sure you're breathing, of course. And then come back to center, leveling out the hips, legs equally long. Lift your heels, bring your knees all the way down to the mat, coming back to table pose here. Now step your right foot forward. So just step your right foot forward. Right hand on top of your right knee, left hand on the mat under your left shoulder. Now just push forward, just a little bit, drop your hip down. So my right knee comes slightly in front of the ankle, but my toes still pointing in the same direction. Right knee, right toes pointing in the same direction. Now lift your eyes and just let your hips feel heavy, both hips. Try not to lift the right hip, but keep the hips as level as you possibly can. So now stretching out the front of the left hip. That's where you feel most of the intensity. A couple of breaths here. And then we're going to switch. So if you're feeling a little intensity in your left knee, if you don't think you can manage it, go ahead and grab some extra padding and place it under your knee. Now press back. Press back and sink back towards your heel. Bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot and just pull the sole of your right foot off the mat. Anchor your heels still. Use your hands for support. So if the floor feels too far away, you can go ahead and reach for a block or place your rolled up blanket. Just deepening the stretch along the back of the right leg here. And now come back up. Plant your right heel. Now lift your right hand, and I'll give you some more room to swing your right knee back to table pose. Right hand comes down, lift your left hand, left foot comes forward. Left hand on top of your knee, right hand on the mat under your right shoulder. Looking beyond the top edge of your mat, and as you exhale, just sink in. Let the hips feel heavy. Bringing your gaze beyond the top edge of your mat, so you're long through the upper body rather than rounded through the shoulders. That's what helps to stretch out the front of the right hip, not left hip, right hip. Take one more breath. Now push back. Push the hips back. Keep the left heel in place. And as the hips go back, just pull the sole of your left foot off the mat. Bring your left hand to the inside of your left foot for support, left ankle. Just stretch out through the back of the left leg. Take 3 breaths here. Shift your weight forward onto your right hand just slightly. Lift the left hand so you can swing your left foot back, returning to table pose. Breath in As you exhale, lift to downward dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees, walk your feet towards your hands. Coming into a forward fold. Fingertips supported by the floor, the earth below. Relax your neck, let your head dangle. Now lift your eyes, look between your hands. Just looking between your hands. Keep your right hand in place and just reach your left hand, just barely letting your fingertips graze the top of the mat in front of you. Not looking at your left fingers, looking down at your right thumb. Really feeling a long stretch on the left side of the body. Just grazing the mat with your fingers, nothing more. So there's a little bit of energy and strength required here in the shoulder. You might feel a little bit of intensity, but do you have the will to see it through? Harness your Manipura Chakra and you can get through it. As you exhale, release. Pause. Just looking at my left thumb now, reaching right hand forward, just letting the fingertips just graze the mat. It's almost like my right fingertips are just letting me know where the floor is and giving me something to reach for. Because if my fingertips are completely away from the floor, it means I'm trying to reach too far. Keep the goal manageable, right? Now exhale, release the right hand, relax the neck, let the head dangle once more. Now bend your knees, coming into a chair pose now. So feet hip distance apart, adjust your feet if you feel like they're not quite in the right spot. Now drop your hips a little bit more. Bring your gaze forward. You want to feel your rib cage and belly resting on your thighs completely here, no matter where you are. Now bring the hands together right in front of heart center. Now keep the knees bent. Push into the mat with the soles of the feet and just think about pulling the rib cage and belly away from the thighs rather than lifting up completely. Oh yes, we feel some intensity now, but keep at it. You've got the intensity to stick with it, so keep going. 3 more breaths right here. You can do it. Really feel the fire within now. All right, with the next breath in, we're going to rise up. So pull up. Ooh, knees cracking, hips going. Oh, yes. Let the hands separate and sweep the arms down as you come into a full mountain pose. Take a breath, just a little bit of a breather here. Feel the heat, feel all the energy in the lower body. That's a lot of intensity in that big chair pose that we just did. Just let it dissipate. Let it settle so you don't release it fully and completely. Absorb it. Now bring your feet shoulder width apart. So a little wider apart than they were a moment ago. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Weave your fingers together overhead and turn your palms up towards the ceiling. Keep a slight bend in the elbows to really allow your palms to turn up. Now take a breath. And as you exhale, lean slightly to the left. So leaning to the left, just feel your weight shifting into your left foot. Now keep the right foot connected to the mat, firmly pushing down to keep the right side long. Now pulling back through the right shoulder, turn to gaze to the right. Look beyond your right arm to the wall at the right. Keep the shoulders level with the hips, in line with the hips. Try not to twist here. Think of lengthening through the right side, but keeping the left side long at the same time. Try not to collapse through the left side. Now bring your gaze back to center. Still leaning to the left here. And bring the whole shoulders, upper body, rib cage back to center. As you inhale, release the hands, reach up and bring the gaze upwards. And as you exhale, release down, returning to mountain pose. Pause right here. A wide leg mountain pose. Let's inhale, sweep the arms up. Weave the fingers together. A soft bend in the elbows as you turn your palms up. Now draw the belly button in. Create a little more strength now through the midsection. Lean slightly to the right. Left shoulder pulls back. You want to feel like your upper arm is in line with your ear. Now anchor down through the left foot, left leg, so the right leg is not doing all the work and the sole of the left foot stays well connected to the earth below. Now turn your head only to look to the left. Look beyond your left arm, but try not to rotate through the right side as you turn to look to the left. Bring your mind now to the solar plexus, above the belly button, below the rib cage. Manipura Chakra. Keep it level, keep it strong. Keep yourself leaning towards the right, but turn your head now, looking straight ahead. As you inhale, bring yourself back to center. Pause for the exhalation. Just relax through the shoulders, although there's still strength there. Inhale, release the hands, bring the gaze up. And as you exhale, bring the feet in. Coming to a full mountain pose here. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, bow forward, bring your fingertips to the mat. Step back to downward dog. Plant your hands, get really comfortable with the palms of the hands stable and settled, connected. Because we're going to be here for a few breaths. Now engage the fingertips. Feel the inside corner of the palm connecting to the mat, the base of the index finger. Arms strong. Now draw the arm bones into your arm sockets. Feel your shoulder blades sliding towards your hips. That's what you want. Really broad between the shoulders. Room, space between your arms and your ears. Now lift your heels, come high on the balls of the big toes, bend your knees. So some softness in the knees here. Now tilt the tailbone upwards as if you were doing cow pose at the very beginning of class. Pop the rib cage open. Lengthen that space once again between the belly button and the base of the rib cage. Actually lengthening the whole front of the body here from the pubic bone to the chin. Now feel the long sides of the body. Shoulders square, arms strong. Take 3 more breaths. This is a tough one. You can do it. Harness your breath. Harness the energy, the fire within. Find the intensity within you to overcome this challenge. Now release the heels down, coming into downward dog. Lift your heels, bring your knees down to the mat. Come down onto your forearms. Elbows underneath your shoulders. Palms turned down towards the mat. Long on the front of the body, rib cage open, solar plexus open. Now relax your neck. Let your head feel heavy. Slide your shoulder blades in towards your spine. Really feel the length in the back of the body as the tailbone reaches up, but the long line from the pubic bone to the collarbones. Rib cage popped wide open. Now lift your eyes. Look between your forearms. You're going to walk your knees back so your knees are behind your hips, shoulders still over top of your elbows. I'm looking straight down at the space between my wrists here. Getting a sense, ears in line with the shoulders. Now draw the belly button and the rib cage in. Really engage the solar plexus here. Find the strength within. Toes curled under. And then lift the knees away from the mat, coming into an elbow plank. Keep the belly button, the rib cage drawing in. 3 breaths. If 3 breaths is too long, come down onto your knees. It's all fine. Find the level of plank here, elbow plank, that you can feel the fire, you can feel the burn within. Yep, that's where that saying comes from. One more breath to go. Knees come down. Walk your hands back as you come into table pose. Yeah. Working out today, it's all good. Take a breath. Exhale. Lift to downward dog just as your transition. Lift your heels, bend your knees, and walk your feet towards your hands. Coming into a forward fold here. Support under the hands. Equal weight in the feet. Feeling the weight equally balanced on the front and the back of the feet so your hips are over top of your heels. And put a little bend in your knees. And take a breath in. As you exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, lift slowly the rest of the way up. All the way up. Keep the hands on the hips. Step your right foot back. So if you step to the back of your mat, you can land on the ball of your big toe. If you're feeling unsteady, take a smaller step and push down onto your heel. Left knee is bent, left knee points in the same direction as your toes. I'm going to stay up on the ball of my big toe. All right, hands on your hips here. Use your hands on your hips to roll the shoulders back. Feel the shoulder blades pulling in towards your spine. All right, upper body is set. Let's draw the belly and the rib cage in. Let's harness the fire within, the strength within. Now reach the right heel. Open up the back of the right knee as much as you feel you can and feel the long line in the front of the right hip. Keep that. Now release the hands. Sweep out to the sides, like kind of scoop up the energy of the universe, harness it, and draw it into the solar plexus. Hands coming together overhead, drawing the hands down. With the breath out, keep the right leg long, stay anchored. Now pull the palms of the hands apart, but keep the fingertips together, and then turn the fingers down, thumbs up, Hakini Mudra. Coming into, I'm going to call this Hakini Warrior, because we've taken the warrior stance on the lower body, but instead of having arms uplifting, we're using Hakini Mudra to really ignite and activate the Manipura Chakra. It's interesting, the symbol for the Manipura Chakra is almost like a lightning rod. That's energy for you. Think of breathing into the solar plexus, above the belly button, below the rib cage. And as you exhale, just send your energy downward. Really ground yourself so that you can feel free and light in the upper body. One more breath. As you exhale, release the hands. Oh, let's inhale, sweep up. Exhale, sweep out. Hands return to the hips. Soften your right knee, step forward. Oh. Give your legs a little shimmy. Release the hands, coming into full mountain pose. Feel the energy on the right side. Let the left side absorb it. Hands to your hips. Left foot steps back. Step back, landing on the ball of your left big toe. Unless you feel unsteady, then go ahead. Take a smaller step and push down onto your heel. Right knee is bent. Right knee pointing in the same direction as your right toes. You got your hands on your hips. Let's use the hands on the hips to roll through the shoulders, pulling the shoulder blades in towards the spine. Continuing with this space in the front of the body that we've been working on throughout the whole class. Keeping the sides of the body long. Now push into the mat with the ball of the left big toe, left heel, lengthen the back of the left leg. Kind of sink into your left hip and right hip. Keep the hips level. Breathe. Find your little focal point in the distance to help keep you steady. Now release the hands. Belly, rib cage, pull in. Inhale, sweep out. Hands come together overhead. As you exhale, just draw the energy in. Pull it into the solar plexus. Now separate the palms, fingertips coming together. Turn the fingertips down, thumb up. Hakini Mudra. Breathe into the space where Manipura Chakra resides. And as you exhale, send your energy downward. Feel the balance here. The strength, the will that comes with your masculine side, the warmth and the radiance that comes from your feminine side. Now release the hands. Inhale, sweep up. And as you exhale, sweep around. Hands return to your hips. Soften your left knee. Step your left foot forward. Release the hands. Take a moment here to absorb the energy. Notice if there's too much, you let it go. It just automatically happens. Inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, bend your knees, bow forward. Plant your hands, step back to downward dog. All right. Firm grip on the mat, fingertips, palms of the hands, base of the index finger. Heels reaching down, long legs, long body. We're getting ready here to do a three-legged dog, but it's not what you think. Normally we would lift the leg to come into three-legged dog. No, today we are lifting a hand. What? You can do it. Don't let your head decide for you first. Let's give it a try. So follow the steps one at a time. Palms firmly on the mat, legs strong. Now create a little bit of strength here. Draw the belly button and the rib cage in, but try not to hold on too tightly. We've still got to let the solar plexus, the Manipura Chakra, we've still got to let that wheel spin. So just a gentle embrace through the rib cage and the belly. Shoulders square. Now keep the shoulders square. Push with the left hand. Feel the right hand get a little bit lighter. Shifting your weight, push with your right foot. Lift your right hand, reach for your left thigh. Oh. Now slide your right hand towards your ankle, as close as you can get it to your ankle. Now a little bit of a pull, and turn to look under your left arm. Three-legged dog with a gentle twist, but feel that long stretch on the right side of the rib cage. Breathe through it. You can do it. I know you can. Now let go of the right hand. Bring your right hand back to the mat. Take a breath. As you exhale, just reach the legs long. Feel your downward dog. Now lift your heels, bend your knees, walk your feet towards your hands. Inhale, come halfway up. Just pause right here with your hands under your knees. Take a breath in, lift your eyes, look forward. And as you exhale, round through the back, pull the belly button into the spine, massage the solar plexus. Give it a little time to recover. Inhale, lifting the eyes, look forward. Exhaling, rounding through the back. 2 more breaths. Last one. Now flatten out, lengthen through the spine. Look at the top edge of your mat. Take a breath. And as you exhale, fold. Bring the fingertips to the mat, bending your knees enough. You can get your fingertips all the way down. Feel them grazing on the floor. Relax your neck, let your head dangle. Now if you want to stretch out the back of the legs here, that's up to you. Just think of lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. Just keep a soft bend in the back of the knees to keep the knees safe. Bend your knees. Plant your hands. Here it comes, everybody. We've got to do the other side. You're going to walk your feet back to downward dog. All right. You know what's coming now. You also know how to manage it. You know how to harness your energy. You can do it. You've got the will. You've overcome the hurdle of the challenge. You're no longer stuck. So here we go. Legs strong, heels reaching down towards the mat. Hands firmly connected to the earth. You can feel the finger pads, the strength there, the connection between the base of the index finger and the earth, the heel of the hand, shoulders broad. Push with the left hand. Push with the right hand. Push with the left foot. Feel the left hand get lighter. And when you feel steady, left hand reaches for your left thigh. Pause and just slowly bring
your left hand down towards your right ankle. Now use your left hand on your ankle, little bit of a twist as you turn to look under your right arm. Keep the hips square. Use the energy in the right hand and the left leg to balance the rest of the body. Feel the strength through the belly button and the rib cage. One more breath. Release the left hand. Left hand comes back to the mat. Oh, downward dog feels so easy now. Take a breath. Exhale. Oh, feels so good. Lift your heels. Bring your knees all the way down to the mat and take a child's pose for 3 breaths. Whatever version of child's pose feels good to you. Breathe into the space where Manipura resides, above the belly button, below the rib cage. Feel the energy there. Breathe. Slowly bring yourself up and swing your legs around to the top of the mat. All right. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Arms reaching out. Just sitting tall. Anchor your feet and lift yourself tall. Keep your knees pulling in. Try not to let your knees fall out to the side. So soles of the feet are flat on the mat. Got a good connection there. Sitting tall, pulling the shoulders back. Turning the palms up. Let's pause right here. So this is an easy version of boat pose. Boat pose is the pose for the solar plexus. Manipura Chakra, because you really have to harness right here at the center. So here we go. Starting with this level 1 boat pose. Pausing right here. Now release the hands. Hold the back of your thighs and just pull yourself up tall. Give yourself a little bit of a rest. Lean in. Relax your neck. Keep the shoulder blades pulling in towards the spine. Think about drawing your chin into your chest. So you feel really long from the base of your skull to your tailbone. Now lift up. Sit tall. Holding on to the back of your thighs now. Pull the soles of your feet away from the mat and dig in with the heels. Push down with the heels. Getting ready for a level 2 boat pose. Now release the hands. Kind of feel your heels pulling towards you. Turn the palms up. Now lift through the heart. So lift up through the heart, through the solar plexus, feeling long through the front of the body, from the pubic bone to the chin. Now lean back a little bit more. Feel the solar plexus engaging a little bit more. So leaning back just enough where you start to feel yourself start to shake just a little bit. That's how we know we are strengthening from the inside out. When the muscles are being worked in a way that they're not normally worked, that's when you shake. The muscle doesn't quite know how to respond. So keep the heart lifting and lean back. Heels heavy. And don't forget to breathe. Try to look up at the corner so it's not your chin drawing in toward your chest. We're going to do one more breath. Now pull up. Oh, hold the back of your thighs, relax the feet, lean forward. Think of drawing your chin towards your chest without rounding through the shoulders. So as the chin pulls in, keep the shoulder blades pulling in towards the spine. Now lift up. Sit tall. Okay, level 3, here we go. Soles of the feet pulling away from the mat, anchoring the heels. Now hold on to the back of the thighs. Draw the belly and the rib cage in, ears in line with the shoulders. Now lean back, and as you lean back, bring your legs with you, float your feet off the mat. Lift through the heart, press the sit bones down into the mat. Keep the knees pulling in towards each other. Now if you feel so inclined, let go for your full level 4 for 3 breaths. One more breath. Oh my gosh, I'm shaking so bad. Hold on and come back to the mat. Lean forward. Oh. Release, and we're going to come all the way down onto the mat. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Get a sense that your ankles are underneath your knees. So what would a solar plexus class be without a bridge pose? Got to do a bridge pose. Not just lifting the heart, but lifting through the solar plexus. So arms at your sides. Bend your elbows to 90 degrees like robot arms. One at a time, roll your shoulder blades underneath you. Feel the lift already through the heart. Really open up through the rib cage and the belly button. So you can feel the arch, the lift already beginning to happen. So exciting, I can't wait to do it. It's gonna feel so good. All right, tilt the head back. Get a sense that your tops of your ears are pointing down towards the floor. And once you're in this position, never turn your head. All right, relaxing through the jaw, no strain in the throat or neck at all. Now pressing with the feet and push equally with the backs of both arms. Just create a big curve between your tailbone so you can feel your spine lifting from the tailbone to the spot right between your shoulder blades. Now keep that. Now, when we lift, I want you to think of lifting from the solar plexus up. So here we go, the space between the belly button and the base of the rib cage. Take a breath. As you exhale, pull in right there at the solar plexus and lift up. Lift, lift, lift. See how high you can lift the solar plexus. Keep the throat soft. Keep the knees hugging in. Think of lifting through the solar plexus rather than squeezing through the buttocks. Push with the arms, push with the heels and the feet. Lift. Breathe. One more breath. And then slowly come down, one vertebrae at a time. All the way down. Oh, I can hear my vertebrae coming into alignment. That's awesome. Relax your arms. Oh my goodness, so good. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Both knees. Hug them in tight. Give them a good squeeze. Gentle rock from side to side. Just massage out through the lower back. Take another breath here, just because it feels good. Feels good to take care of yourself, doesn't it? Feels good to connect to your passion, your fire. All right, long legs. Now take your hands and just tuck them underneath your buttocks. Kind of slide your thumb in just where there's space. You don't need to lift your hips or rock your hips in any way. Just place your hands palms down for support. Spread your toes. Reach with your heels. So long legs here. Think of reaching the heels up towards the ceiling. Now anchor the shoulders if they aren't already. All right, we're going to draw the belly button and the rib cage in. Let's give one more kick to stoke the fire. Here we go. We're going to slowly lower the legs to the count of 8. Here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh yeah, I'm feeling the burn now. 4, 3. Keep the belly button and the rib cage pulling in. 2, 2.5, 2 3/4, 1. We're not there yet. Still floating slightly above the floor. We're going to take one more breath. 1.5. Yep, I did it. Here we go. 1 3/4. Almost. Hold for a breath. And as you exhale, just release. Oh, so good. Release your hands. Make whatever adjustments you need to, coming into final relaxation here because you worked hard today. Cover yourself with a blanket so you can feel really warm, and let the warmth within you just radiate outwards like you're your own furnace, heating up the rest of the world with your own warm glow. Think about all that energy, all that excitement. That's you. You created that. It comes from within you. So if you feel comfortable here, go ahead and close your eyes. Let your body sink into the earth. As you exhale, just let go a little more deeply. And once you feel settled, bring your attention to Manipura Chakra. Visualize the warm yellow glow of the sun within you. As you breathe in, the sun, the warm yellow light kind of expands a little bit. And as you exhale, it radiates outwards, out through the arms, the hands, legs, feet, just setting you completely aglow. Breathing in to Manipura Chakra, the light expands. And as you breathe out, the warmth radiates outwards. Glowing, lighting your path, sharing your light, your fire, your passion with the whole world. I invite you to stay here in final relaxation for as long as you need to today. For now, I'm going to begin to transition back. Wiggle fingers, toes, bringing movement to hands and feet, arms and legs. Gently rolling on to the right side. Pressing up. Sitting tall. Hands together in front of the heart. Eyes softly closed or gazing downward. Take a moment to be grateful. Release the hands as you take a breath in, sweep the arms up, bringing hands together overhead. And as you exhale, let your hands float down, palm pressing to palm. Now separate the palms, fingertips touching, turning fingers down, thumb up, resting in Hakini Mudra right in front of the solar plexus, Manipura Chakra. Connecting to warmth, radiance, vitality for the world to see. Now spin the hands just a tiny bit more with the fingers pointing forward, thumbs pointing now towards the solar plexus, and even bringing the hands close enough to just graze the solar plexus. Now harness the energy within here to send some love and light out to the rest of the world. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be loved. And may all beings be at peace. Release Hakini Mudra, hands together at heart center. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.